Pass Faster Pass. We are today with Kaylie and Taran from New Zealand. They live here in Germany and they have for the last 3.5 years. And Kaylie's blog is Happiness Travels Here. So take a look. We're going to get started with our game show. We're going to I'll interview you, Kaylie, and you guys will have to disappear. Mm-hmm. And then we'll swap. And then at the end, we'll come back together and see if you get your passport, or maybe
divorce.
So the way it works is we'll ask you a question that Taran should know the answer to. So what does Taran think about this? And then when we get back together, we'll see how well he knows.
Reading each other's minds. How long have you been married?
Almost 8.
So a piece of cake.
Should be a breeze. What is one thing that you guys like to splurge on when you're traveling? So what would Taran say is one thing that you guys like to splurge on? A lot of people, that's when they, have the big dinner or the luxury hotel. How about you guys?
Yeah, I would probably say food. Yeah, luxury dinner would be one thing. And maybe like cocktails or a nice bottle of wine or something like that.
And you would normally do that when you're at home.
We would probably do it at home as well. Okay. Everything in moderation.
Of course.
Yeah.
Life is a balance, right?
But especially if we could get someone to look after the kids, then we would splurge a little bit and have a few cocktails, some nice wine, and a good dinner.
So when you're traveling, do you often have someone to watch the kids?
No.
Unfortunately.
But sometimes we manage to, like, if we're meeting with family or, if we have friends that are in that area, they might offer to babysit or something like that.
And that is nice, isn't it?
So that's when we would splurge.
Exactly. I hear you. That's what we would do too. Okay, so number 2. What is one thing that your husband would say you bring specifically to keep the kids from melting down, for being happy the whole time or as much as possible while you're traveling?
Something that I would bring
specifically to hopefully avoid trouble.
I always have in my backpack stuff for the kids to do. I always have like some colouring and some books. I really love these water wow things. We've had like the same one for about 4 years. It's all like ratty and stuff, but they can paint on it with water. So you just need a little bit of water and they can do painting. And then like if we really want to have like this romantic sort of time and we can't get a babysitter, then that's when I break out the iPad or the iPhone and the headset as well. And I have a double adapter so the kids can both watch the same movie. But we generally try to avoid like using the iPad, but there's those times where you just, if you're away for a couple of weeks with just the two of you and the kids, that need some time just to have an adult conversation. So we'll do that.
Absolutely.
And pretend that we don't have kids.
Do you have a car here?
Right there. Here. Yes. Yeah.
So do you have the video in the back of the car seat?
No, we try to get them just to look out the windows and things.
Good for you.
But yeah, if it's a really long trip, they might get to watch something on the iPad. But
well, I think that's good. Like you said, everything in moderation.
Yeah.
If there's a good reason for it. Okay, good job. And the very last question, only 3. What is Taran's reaction when you guys are in the middle of some new country and things are not going well? Like how does he react to that?
It's a hard one.
We tried to be a little bit hard.
Yeah. I think it really depends on like how tired everyone is and things like that. Like I think if he's not tired, then he's really good at coping with these situations. Just gets a little frustrated and snappy or something. If he's tired, then he's like, "What are we gonna do?" But I'm usually the one that I've always got a backup plan. So it's usually we can sort things out and I can figure it out.
So you have a plan for the plan for the plan.
Yeah, mostly.
Mostly. Okay. All right. You're gonna have to.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and listen to the questions carefully. I might be asking what you think, or I might be asking what you think
Okay.
Kaylie would think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the first one kind of deals with, because you travel with children, obviously, which is really nice. A lot of people with children will find some place for them, grandparents or uncles or aunts, to say while they go traveling, which I've always thought is kind of a travesty. So in this one, and this is something that happens in Europe a lot. I don't know if it's actually happened to you guys yet or not, but what would Kaylie do or say if you're in a restaurant and the waiter comes up and takes the kids and takes them off for a tour, like of the kitchen or whatever?
So Kaylie would love that, and she would definitely let the waiter do that. We were actually in Chennai in India just before Christmas, and the waiter asked if Blake wanted to go into the kitchen to have a look
That's
at the
excellent.
tandoori oven. So he was able to go in.
Shoot, I'd love that.
Yeah. I had to stay outside.
Yeah, yeah, that used to happen to us all the time too, especially in Germany with 2. Both our kids were about the same age as yours, and they just come up and let's take them off while you guys enjoy your dinner. And the first time it happened, we were a little bit not suspicious, but maybe a little trepidatious.
Right.
But then it's like you said, what a great opportunity for them. Okay, so the next one seems like everywhere you go in the world, the one food you find in common everywhere is pizza. Now, when we travel, definitely pizza is not the first place we go. But if we've been in country for several days, maybe a week or 2, eating local food as much as we can because we like to try new things, you get to a point where something a little bit more comfortable is called for. So in that situation, what is Kaylie's pizza that she's going to get?
I was hoping you were going to ask what mine was, because I knew the answer to that. But I think it would be similar. Maybe a burger. Like you said, we definitely try and eat the local cuisine,
Right.
and generally try to avoid the Italian or pizza restaurants
Right.
as much as we can. But yes, after a while, sometimes you do just want to have a nice burger, and I think that's what Kaylie would go for as well.
Okay, Taran, this one might be a little bit harder. I don't know. It depends on maybe what your role is in the whole process. But this one deals with packing. So you're going out on a 2-week trip. How do you pack? Do you specifically like clothing and articles of clothing? Do you need to have enough underwear for everybody for every day of the trip? Or you're not going to pack that much and maybe plan on doing laundry along the way? But how do you go about that?
So generally we will, depending on the length of the trip, we will plan on doing some washing. It's a running joke that I pack for myself and Kaylie packs for everyone else. We use packing cells, so that works out really well. Being able to pack everything into compartmentalize into the suitcase. We will try and definitely over the last few years we've started reducing the amount of clothing that we take, and
so plan on a wash somewhere along the way.
Correct. Yeah.
So is this like in the bathtub scrubbing away, or do you always try to find a place where the wash will be done for you?
It's a bit of a mixture. So when we were in Sri Lanka over New Year's, we asked the host, and they were able to do a large load of washing for us at no cost, which was great. What we definitely try to avoid is doing washing in a hotel.
Yeah. In the room itself, it's just never a good thing.
Well, I know, or getting
the hotel
to do it, because the cost is just
and it
ridiculous.
Seems the more expensive the hotel, the more expensive
Yeah.
everything in the hotel is, including
Yeah.
the wash.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like you said, some places you can go and they'll do it for you.
Yeah, but I travel for business quite a lot, and also to India on business, and it's nice to have a nice freshly pressed,
Yes, it is.
clean shirt
Yes, it is.
from the hotel. So sometimes those little luxuries do help.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so traveling around the world with kids, you go into a restaurant, it's fairly common for the waiter to come and whisk your kids off for a tour of the kitchen or whatever. What do you think Taran would say your response to that would be?
Yes, take them and don't bring them back.
That's
No.
funny.
Yes, definitely take them.
Right.
So it wouldn't bother you at all. Okay.
No, definitely not. They'd love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So
I think that's
Yeah.
you would
Would
love
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
there we go.
That,
Okay, so you've been traveling a while. It's been a couple of weeks. If you're like us, you like to eat the local food, try as much of the new stuff as you can. But after a while, you kind of hit a wall and you need something, maybe what we would consider more normal, pizza or burger or something. So in that situation, what do you think Taran, what do you think Taran said would be your go-to?
My go-to.
Yeah.
What did you think his go-to would be? McDonald's burger. And I think I would just have to go along with that. So I think you would say McDonald's.
McDonald's?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold it up.
A nice burger.
nice
A
yeah.
nice burger. How interesting.
Yeah, you
I
guys are
always
2
think
for
it's-
2.
Yeah, you are. You're doing quite
Well,
well.
I can usually keep eating the local food. I'm not so like in Sri Lanka, I would happily have curry like every day and for
I love
breakfast
curries.
and lunch and dinner. But
I love curries too, but I do
I
get
think,
tired of it. I was ready for some.
Yeah, you need the steak and the
Yeah,
burger
just
and stuff.
once a week, I think.
Just every once in a while.
Okay, so the next question deals with packing. Okay. No, thank you.
Like she's gonna
Oh,
read that
so-
upside down.
When it's time to pack for a trip, say again another 2-week or a 3-week trip, it's a little bit longer. How does the packing process go? Who does the packing? Do you need to make sure you get enough clothes to
Every
last
day.
every day? Are you gonna do laundry along the way? What's the roles and how do you do it?
I would hope you know the answer to
I know
this.
the answer.
So I pack pretty much everything except for stuff.
Oh really? You have to pack your own stuff.
Well, he packs his
Unfortunately.
clothes and toiletries, and I pack
Everything else.
everything else.
Yeah.
I have a list that I use, and we go through that together as well. And then we usually only pack maybe for like 5 days worth of clothes, and then plan to do washing on the way because we try to pack as light as possible.
We do too. I have this
Yeah.
thing. If I'm flying home and I haven't used one of my pieces of clothing, I get so bad. I'm like, I didn't use
One
that.
thing that doesn't need to go
I
to the
did
next
not
time.
have to carry this
Yeah.
for the last X amount of days. So, well, that's good. So, do you just try to do carry on?
No, we mostly
Don't go
check
that
a bag
extreme.
because we actually find if we take carry-on that it's more stuff because you've each got like one bag. So we have, because there's 4 of us, we then have to have
Right.
4 little bags. So we'd rather just have like one
big
One
good
large
one
bag, and then
large
a couple
bag,
of backpacks. Or
and then
whatever.
some smaller carry-on.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
Okay, so
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what did he say?
What did you say?
Pack lighter. He packs for himself. She packs for rest.
You guys,
Spot on.
Yeah,
you-
that's pretty.
I
So,
think that you're it's
Kaylee's
like
3 for
almost
3.
word
Yeah.
for word. Yeah, that's setting the
No,
bar high
it's
for
a hard
you. You
food
realize
job.
I'm a little bit
that,
worried now.
right? First question is, okay, so when you're traveling, a lot of people take that time to do something special, to splurge. So what is one thing that you would splurge on while you're traveling? Spend that little extra money on?
Food.
Food?
Yeah, a nice restaurant, I think.
She did say that, but I didn't write it. Because she got
Anything
more,
else?
because she got more
She embellished
specific,
it.
that's
Yeah,
why.
more
He'll get
Yeah.
it. He'll get it.
I'll get it.
You'll get
Anything
there.
else?
Has to
As
do
well
with
as
the dinner.
food.
So what would you go for
yeah.
in the restaurant?
Okay, alcohol. Nice,
Yeah, the alcohol, that's what I wrote down, yeah.
Nice wine, good cocktail,
Yeah.
local cocktail, local spirit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Pisco sours in Cusco. Yeah. That's what I wrote down, even though I think you would have gotten it right anyway. So,
Yeah.
because we're exactly the same way. We were
Yeah.
just in France last weekend specifically to eat. That's what we
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I said food, wine, and cocktails. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Food, wine, and cocktails.
Not the place
exactly.
to hold back.
So, what is one thing that you guys always bring to keep the kids happy. Hopefully so that when they're getting tired and it's close to meltdown time that you can whip this out and...
So I'm going to say tablet and headphones for the kids. They've got a double adapter. They can take both headsets, so they're both watching the same thing.
And before that, that's it. It's the right answer
all the time.
But that is.
But to keep them
but
quiet.
when they're
Any low tech options?
Low tech options
That I bring.
that you bring. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
because
bring.
you don't take
he doesn't pack, but you must
Yeah.
carry it. Come on.
All right, we're in the danger zone.
Oh, okay. A book.
A
Books,
book
yeah. Or painting.
with water.
Crayons.
Yeah,
something
to
like
be
that.
fair, I do travel like with the kids by myself quite a lot. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the iPad would usually come out when I'm with him. So that
Anyway,
I could,
but you did get
it.
Anyway, he was absolutely
You
right.
got
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
but also the colouring
Nice
stuff.
job.
Yeah.
So-
So when things are getting a little tense, they're not going to plan. What is your reaction? Like, what happens? Like, how do you react to that? How does Kaylie think you react to that? And when the plan isn't going to plan?
The plan's not going to plan. I start to get a little stressed.
She's locked up.
Maybe get a little bit
Not giving anything away.
get a little bit grumpy.
We all get grumpy when that happens.
Am I close?
Yeah. Yeah, very close.
And then I just let Kaylie solve it.
That's exactly what you said. Almost, I'm telling you, you guys have exactly the same words.
He knows what I'm gonna.
Kaylie has a
Kaylee's
backup plan to the
plan.
backup plan.
Yeah.
After you
But
start
I
getting
said that
grumpy.
exactly. I said that usually you stay calm, but then sometimes if you're a bit tired, you can get a little bit grumpy. But
Don't
then
we
I'll
all?
sort it out.
Yeah. That's it. Seriously.
Good
That's,
job.
yeah. That's
All right, so you
100%.
both got 3 for 3.
That's
Nice
lucky.
job.
We've been enough countries together.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
we would-
Yeah.
Well, how many countries have you traveled in? Oh, I mean, you don't have to give me a number, but just...
Well, we were counting it up the other day. I've been to 51, and you'd been to 7 less, was it?
42, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
Blake's
and
at
then most of the ones that
27.
have been. to
Isn't that
together.
amazing with the kids? Yeah.
Yeah.
Blake's at 27.
So
Ella's
around-
at 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ella hasn't been to the Cook Islands or Australia,
Mm.
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because they're two countries that are really close to New
Yeah,
Zealand.
right.
Hey, well, you heard it. They know each other pretty well. 8
Yeah.
years, 50 and 70 countries, a lot of it together, 27 for your oldest son. That's a lot.
Amazing.
I think they've traveled quite extensively. They know each other's highs, lows, goods, bads,
Definitely
pros,
earned the
cons.
passports.
You get it.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
Check out her blog and see you around.